All right, let's jump right into this explainer and completely demystify the notoriously fragmented process of registering your out-of-state car in Ohio. Whether you've just unpacked your boxes in the Buckeye State, or maybe you cross state lines to snag your absolute dream car, you're probably staring down a literal mountain of bureaucratic paperwork right now. And honestly, it can feel pretty overwhelming.
Because we've all been there, right? Taking time off work, waiting in a massive, agonizingly slow line, finally getting to the front, only to be brutally rejected because you missed a single obscure document? Or, worse, finding out you were standing in the entirely wrong building all along. It's incredibly frustrating. But good news, that doesn't have to be your story today.
Today, I'm handing you the ultimate survival map. We're going to cover escaping the BMV trap, gathering your essential documents, navigating inspections and emissions testing, securing your Ohio title, figuring out plates, registration, and fees, and then we'll wrap up with a summary and some final tips.
So let's kick things off with Section 1, Escaping the BMV Trap.
Okay, the absolute most crucial thing you need to understand is Ohio's two-boss system. In a lot of states, the DMV is just a simple one-stop shop. Well, not in Ohio. You absolutely cannot just waltz into a single BMV office and do everything at once. First, you have to visit the County Clerk of Court's title office to establish your ownership and get your actual Ohio title. Only after that's done can you visit the Deputy Registrar License Agency to get your plates and tags. Sometimes, yeah, they're in the same building, but a lot of times they're miles apart. You have to do them in that exact order.
Moving on to Section 2, Gathering your essential documents.
You might want to take a screenshot here because this is your master checklist. First up, you need your original out-of-state title. Absolutely no photocopies allowed. They will reject them on the spot. And here's a massive pro tip for you. If the state you're transferring the title from requires a notary signature for transfers, that notarization has to be totally complete before you hand it over in Ohio. You're also going to need a valid government-issued ID, an application for Certificate of Title, which is Form 3774, and your VIN inspection paperwork, which, actually, we're going to cover right now.
Which brings us to Section 3, Inspections and Emissions Testing.
Before you get that title, you have to obtain an official out-of-state physical inspection form. You can get this quick inspection done at any Deputy Registrar License Agency or, honestly, even at participating licensed Ohio auto dealers. It does come with a tiny fee, usually right around $6.50, so that's $5 for the actual inspection and a $1.50 clerk fee.
Now, listen, if you have a check engine light glowing on your dashboard, do not panic. This VIN inspection is incredibly simple. It is not a mechanical or safety check. An official is literally just going to walk out to the parking lot with you, look at the VIN plate right there on your windshield, check your odometer reading, and sign off. That's the whole shebang. It usually takes less than 5 minutes.
There is a catch, though. If you're moving into one of the 7 e-check counties, like Cuyahoga, Geauga, Lake, Lorain, Medina, Portage, or Summit, you've got an extra hoop to jump through. Since you're brand new and not in the state's registration database yet, you have to follow this exact sequence. Get your VIN inspection first, then take the car to an e-check testing station. You actually have to buy an $18 testing voucher from EnviroTest to take the emissions test. But hey, keep that receipt, because after you pass and finish your registration at the Deputy Registrar, you can submit a claim to get that $18 refunded.
All right, Section 4, Securing your Ohio title.
I want you to burn this critical number into your brain: 30. You have exactly 30 days from your vehicle's assignment or from the date of your physical VIN inspection to transfer your title. If you miss this window, Ohio hits you with a $5 per week late fee. It maxes out at $40, but still, why pay it if you don't have to?
Now, here's a major trap that catches so many people off guard. If you're still making payments on your car, you don't actually have your title, right? Your bank does. So you have to submit an out-of-state request form to your lien holder so they can physically mail the original title to the Ohio Clerk of Courts. This process can easily take up to 6 weeks. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is hold off on getting that 30-day VIN inspection until the title actually arrives at the Ohio office. Otherwise, your inspection might expire while you're just sitting there waiting on the mail. When you're finally converting your title, pay close attention to your tax liability. It's actually pretty interesting. If you're a new resident and you bought your car out of state over 6 months ago, you owe 0 new Ohio sales tax. Nothing. You just pay the $18 title fee. But if you purchased it less than 6 months ago, Ohio definitely wants its cut.
The base state sales tax is 5.75% plus your local county taxes, which can push the total up to around 8%. But don't worry too much. Ohio will credit you for whatever sales tax you already paid to your previous state, so you're generally just paying the difference.
Moving into the home stretch with Section 5, Plates, Registration, and Fees. When you're calculating your final costs over at the deputy registrar, standard gas cars are going to run you about $42.50 a year. That breaks down to roughly $34.50 for the state fee, plus an $8 service fee. But take a really close look at these alternative fuel surcharges. Ohio has implemented some strict surcharges to make up for lost gas taxes. Battery electric vehicles pay an extra $200 a year. Plug-in hybrids pay an extra $150. And unusually, even standard non-plug-in hybrids, like a traditional Prius, have to pay a $100 annual surcharge.
And on top of those state-based fees, you've got to account for the county permissive tax. Basically, your local municipality and county can layer on extra taxes in $5 increments. This does cap out at a maximum of $30 per year per vehicle. So, depending on whether you live right in downtown Columbus or out in a quiet rural county, your final registration bill is going to vary a little bit based on your exact home address.
Okay, let's wrap this all up in Section 6, Summary and Final Tips.
Think of this timeline as your physical journey to success. Step 1. Start right in your driveway. Gather your ID and either grab your physical title or double-check that your bank has actually sent it to Ohio. Step 2. Drive over to a deputy registrar or licensed dealer to pass that quick visual VIN inspection we talked about. Step 3. Take that paperwork straight to the clerk of court's title office to secure your actual Ohio title. And finally, Step 4. Walk on over to the deputy registrar to pay your annual fees and grab those brand new plates.
And as always, a quick but important disclaimer. Because state laws and administrative fees shift all the time. In fact, a recent bill literally just updated processing fees for 2026 to help fund the State Highway Patrol. Please verify all exact costs and specific form numbers directly with the official Ohio BMV website before you make your trip. You don't want any surprises.
But hey, you've done it. You have successfully conquered the red tape, avoided that completely dreaded secondary trip to the BMV, and honestly saved yourself hours of a massive headache. Now that your car is officially an Ohioan, it leaves you with just one really exciting question. What road trip are you going to take with those shiny new Ohio plates? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and safe travels out there on the road.